Okay, everybody. I've started a new stream on here to go over the updates. I just attempted it a second ago and I had an audio issue. So we're going to go through this again. Again, I'm posting this video as an update on storm conditions and timing for this evening. I have posted a text update, which is still valid. So if you like that, go into the featured section of the Facebook group and you can check that out there. So we're going to go ahead and dive in. We're going to see these storms approach from the west. We're going to see this stronger storm out north of Winchester. Second, setting things up here. It's going to be approaching Grundy County and Marion County around 7-ish p.m. That's Central Time. I know you see 8 at the top, so 7 p.m. is Central Time. And also, we'll see this storm start to approach Sequatchie County as well. So by 9 p.m. or 8 p.m. Central Time, we'll see the storms really push into Sequatchie County. We see a possibility of, a section of stronger storm area. I would extend that up to the possibility of Bledsoe County and down to Marion County as well. And it's going to be knocking on the door of Hamilton County around 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And we're also probably going to see storms starting to make their way towards Ray County. The storms really start to make their way across into the Eastern Time Zone right here around 10 p.m. We also see some stormy area down here in Jackson County, Alabama, as well as DeKalb County, Alabama down here. Specifically down around Lakeview, Collinsville area. You see, we're looking at more of a cellular storm formation instead of this squall line that we were possibly expecting tonight. Squall lines can push a lot of strong winds, but luckily we won't have that. What we will have, though, is a more cellular set. The problem with cell sets of storms, you have that longer span of storm possibility. They don't kind of eat up all the energy at the front. So then around 11 p.m. we have storms making their way all the way over into Bradley County, Meigs County. We're going to keep a close eye on this area of kind of northern Hamilton County, Ray County, Meigs County, and McMinn County. This area does typically see, characteristics of stronger storms than down towards Hamilton County sometimes, like the southern half of Hamilton County. So we're going to keep a close eye on that. It does not show as much weakening in that area. We'll continue to watch those, but that is going to be an area of risk. And then down here in Georgia around Chattooga County, making its way into Floyd County, we've got a stronger section down there, so we'll keep an eye on that. It's going to also make its way across the north end of Cherokee County, Alabama. So this is 11 p.m. or 10 p.m. Central Time. And then it's going to kind of cross over Polk County very quickly with this little section of stronger storms. And around midnight, we're still going to see a little bit of stronger storm section down here around Rome, Georgia, Floyd County area. But everywhere else is going to be starting to clear out. And then around 1 a.m., we see most of the area becoming clear. We may still see some little pockets of some storms. I don't expect them to be severe, but it's showing, around, Catoosa County, Whitfield County, and over here around Lyerly and Rome. So, we'll keep an eye on this the entire time. We'll walk these storms all the way through. I'm going to kind of step back a little bit to kind of take it through a little bit quicker. You can kind of see how everything unfolds. You see these storms make their way towards the central time zone coverage area, and they kind of come off around the plateau and they weaken. They kind of expand back, and then we get these stronger storms crossing through, Graceville, Dayton, Decatur, Athens, Seal Creek, Birchwood area. We do see a couple of stronger sections around Sequatchie and Jasper, but we start to get this gap. So a lot of Hamilton County is not going to see much risk tonight. The primary risk we're going to see in most of these storms is going to be those stronger wind gusts. Those stronger gusts can do some damage, so keep an eye out. Beware of trees. We've had a lot of rain. The soil's very soft. We also want to take into account that hail can possibly form with these storms. It's been present in some of them throughout the afternoon, so we'll continue to keep an eye on the hail threat as well. What I don't see a lot of is threat of tornadoes. Just kind of looking at the way that everything is, that's not something I think we're going to have a lot of concern for. However, we will watch closely these areas down here around Chattooga and Floyd County, up here around Ray, Meigs, McMinn, Bradley County, and make sure those don't strengthen. And of course, I'll be watching the entire area as we go through. So, I do see a lot less threat than what was being proposed, and I think we're going to be watchful, but I think we're going to be okay. I know it's kind of scary seeing tornado warnings off here to the west. We have some around Columbia, Tennessee, Chapel Hill. We have a stronger storm down here around North Alabama, around approaching Athens, Alabama. So we're going to keep an eye on those storms, make sure that they stay in their lane, make sure we don't have a lot of risk, and if we do, I'll make sure that you know exactly what, when, where, why, and how. So, looking over at the comments real quick, let's scroll to the top and make our way through. Again, I apologize about the technical difficulty I had earlier. If you're just joining in, I'm going to end this here in a little bit, but you can go back and rewatch any of this at any point in time. It'll be posted right there in the featured section of the Facebook group. And I'll also make a clip of this in the YouTube page as well, so you can go back and watch it on there too. Let's see if we got any questions. Ringgold, Tunnel Hill area, Catoosa County. Really, this kind of whole more populated area, Dalton, Tunnel Hill, Chickamauga, Fordo, those areas, we don't see much coming through that area. It's going to kind of stay relaxed in that area. Now, doesn't mean the threat's not going to be there at all, but you have much less threat than anywhere else. It's kind of like the target place to be tonight. South Meigs County. Jamie, you were asking about that. Yes, so South Meigs, around 10:15, 10:30, we're going to see this little stronger section make its way through South Meigs County. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. I see a question and an answer that's already been given for, the difference between a tornado watch and a warning is. But just to make sure that everybody's clear, a tornado watch means that the potential might be there at a later time, or, current time if it is within the storm. Anyways, a watch means that there's potential, there's favorable conditions, and it might be possible. A tornado warning means that something has been observed to indicate that it's likely a tornado is there. Tornado warnings have changed over the last couple of years to being issued when radar indicates that one might be present. That creates a lot of confusion, but the process is, they want to make sure that people have as much advance notice as possible. I see somebody said something about tornado symbol. Marguerite, I'm not sure what you mean by that. But if you see, what I'm thinking you might mean is on the radar, if you see a little circle with a triangle in the center, that indicates like a tornadic vortex signature, which is a characteristic similar to a mesocyclone. And those are radar indicators that a tornado might be either forming or present. Let's see here. All right, so I've kind of made my way through the comments. I want to say the purpose of this video was to update on conditions this evening. If you're just joining in, you can go and check the video out on the featured section. And I've also got a text update there as well, if that's what you prefer. That should still be a viable text update. I want to... Oh, we got a question about Lookout Valley. So here, let me specifically go to Lookout Valley. All right, in the valley. So you say, we don't really talk a lot about that neck of the woods. That's kind of the area of Hamilton County. Down around here, Tiftonia, it's kind of like the forgotten section of Hamilton County, but it's, usually grouped in with Marion County and Dade County, Georgia. So because I did not really mention Lookout Valley, and it is a little different because it's on the other side of the mountains. Around 10 p.m., you see some potential for, a stronger storm, but not one that I consider like dangerous tornadically or anything like that. And then it just kind of rains the rest of the evening until about 1 a.m. So I'm going to go ahead and get off here. It's 6:30. And I've got to go to work. I'm going to work at 9:30. So throughout the night, if I have to post updates, it'll be by my cell phone. I don't have the capability of doing live streams from work, but that's just kind of the way things are. But I'll continue to get you all the good information and make sure everybody stays informed and safe. And I hope everybody's having a wonderful beginning to their week, and we'll talk to all of you soon.